Hello, Ms. Benavides. Thank you for coming in to see me today. I'm glad you were able to take time out of your day to meet with me. The reason I have called for this meeting is so that we can discuss Alicia's progress. Last Monday, everybody in our class took the Iowa Test of Basic Skills. The ITBS is an achievement test that assesses a student's proficiency of major content areas in all subjects, which is also known as a complete battery test. I wanted to discuss with you what each score means. However, please feel free to stop me if you have any questions.
All right, that sounds great.
So let me take a look at Alicia's test scores. First, let's look at the top portion. This part indicates the scores being achieved nationally, what we call the national norm. The bottom portion indicates how well Alicia performed in each content area and explains where she is ranked in comparison to the national norm.
Will this test hold my child back a grade level if she does not meet the national norm?
No, the data collected will have absolutely no effect on her advancement to the next grade level. This test is only given to find out which content areas the student could use more help in. The test is a benefit for all students and is in no way displayed in a negative manner. The scores are all confidential and are only to be viewed by a select few. Here you can see Alicia scored exceptionally well in comprehension. On the skill score for comprehension, Alicia scored a 198 within the norm group. A scale score tells you what grade level the student is performing at. Currently, Alicia is performing at a 4th grade level, which is great. The norm group is basically the group her scores are compared to, and for this test, the norm group is the entire class. Alicia is doing really well in the area of problem solving and data interpretation. If you will look with me on the bell curve data sheet, you'll notice Alicia is in the point percentile range. She scored 71% in the comprehension and scored in the 59th percentile in problem solving and data interpretation. You can see that she is sitting in this percentile band in both of the content areas. The percentages are the frequency of the scores relatively higher or lower than what Alicia performed at each content area. For example, in comprehension, she is ahead by her class by 71%. I know this is quite a bit of information, but in the packet I will be sending home with you includes a copy of her test scores, the bell curve, and a vocabulary sheet to help you identify the terms and what each term consists of. Once you get home and have a chance to look back over the information covered from our conference today, do you have any questions so far?
Yes, this is an earful of information, but can I ask how you plan on taking this information and helping Alicia as well as the other students in your class?
Of course. If you look below, unfortunately, Alicia has some difficulties with capitalization. I intend to take the content areas that display the most trouble and focus my lesson plan, make it to redirect and reconstruct the foundation of the content areas that are given our class as a whole difficulty.
Wonderful. I was wondering if there was anything outside the classroom I could do to help speed up the process, but if you will be devoting time during class to direct attention to Alicia's specific needs as well as the needs of other students, I feel I shouldn't have to worry as much.
I will do my best to get Alicia performing at grade level in content areas that she is not currently doing so well in. Unfortunately, we will need to discuss the areas Alicia is not performing her best in. If you look back at the score sheet, you will notice Alicia's main difficulty is capitalization. When you look at the chart near the bottom point, you will notice under capitalization, there are 5 subtests totaling to 24 items. This means that on the test, there were 24 questions dealing with capitalization. Subtests are a portion of the test which cover a broad subject area. If you take a look at the top of the left-hand corner, you will find the subtests. If we go down the list, you'll be able to see that the subtests include vocabulary, comprehension, reading total, word analysis, listening, spelling, capitalization, punctuation, usage and expression, language, total, concepts and estimations, problem solving and data interpretation, computation, mathematics, core total, social studies, science, maps, diagrams, reference materials, and sources of information. I know this can be overwhelming, but it's only a broad overview of what your child was tested on. If you move to the bottom row of the results, you'll see a more detailed description of each subtest. Let's take a look at the subtest of punctuation in this section. We see that it breaks it down by end punctuations, commas, apostrophes, quotes, colon, semicolon, and correct punctuation. So this is just a more detailed approach.
How do I know the amount of questions my daughter answered correctly?
That is something we call raw scores. Raw scores are simply the number of items a student correctly answers. For example, if a test has 60 items and a student gets 43 correct, their raw score is 43. Let's look at some of Alicia's raw scores. What we want to focus on is where it reads percent correct by student. Percent correct means when the raw score is divided by the total number of questions and the result is multiplied by 100 so that the percent correct score is obtained. If we take a look under spelling words with affixes, we can see that Alicia's raw score was 100%. This means she answered all the questions in the section correctly. If we look under capitalization at names and titles, you will see that Alicia's raw score here is 50%. This means that she answered half of the questions correctly. So when looking for raw scores, we look at the amount of percentage that the students answer correct. Do you have any questions so far?
Is there anything I could do to help her improve her capitalization skills?
I'm gonna talk to you about that in a little while. We'll get into that. There are some things you can do, and we'll get into that. There's another important grading term that is usually a little easier to follow. There is a term that is called a Stanine. A Stanine is a simple, easy grading score that consists of a score of 1 through 9. On the scoring system, the score 1, 2, 3 are below average, 4, 5, 6 are considered average, 7, 8, 9 are above average. So if we were to take another look at the bell curve and place Alicia's grades for listening, she would have scored a 7, which is wonderful. But for capitalization on the curve, she would have scored a 1, which is not where we want her to be. Here you can keep this grade sheet for the ITBS that Lisa took along with the bell curve sheet. So now that you have a general idea of how to read this performance sheet, you can go over it with Alicia when you get a chance and show her how well she is doing and show her where she needs some help. Try to be positive and show her where she is doing well first and applaud her for it. Then talk to her about the areas where she can improve. Again, this is not a test that determines whether or not that she will pass to the next grade level, but a tool that picks apart all areas of comprehension, which lets us know where we can help her. Do you have any questions?
Well, now, is there anything I could do to help her improve her capitalization skills?
Yes, there is. A good thing that you can do is read her books, magazines, newspaper articles to her while having her look at the text so she can see the sentence structure, which will help her determine when she will need to capitalize a word. What I'm going to do is help her. I'm going to incorporate lessons of capitalization when I'm teaching on my future lessons. I think this sums up our meeting. Do you have any questions or concerns you would like to talk about?
No, I think you pretty much covered everything.
Well, I thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again soon. And feel free to drop by and see me or call me if you need anything. Take care.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's see you.